I'm Dan Newbanks again, 101 Denbeck. So with the 1% increase of the franchise fee, we're talking about, I think you said $195,000 in increase in revenue that'll be into the
Approximately.
general fund. Approximately. And that's all well, fine and good. I think most of everyone knows my stance on taxation in general. And it bothers me to no end that there has been very little discussion that I have heard on cutting spending. I mean, I've asked a couple of times from a few individuals that I thought would have access to it for the budget, just to take a look to see how much is being spent. And I can think off the top of my head, even without seeing numbers, where we could cut spending, one of which is the massive amount of manpower that's going into people riding around checking how tall grass is and to check how many people are parked in yards. The number of man hours in general, and no offense to the chief, I'm sure he runs a fine department, but I can't imagine the amount of time that goes in to riding around enforcing these ordinances that really, it just to me does not seem to be any business of government whatsoever. If we're wanting to increase the bottom line, which is the point of increasing revenue, it should start with cutting spending, not increasing revenue from taxation or franchise fees. This hurts the pocket directly of the people who are the customers of SCE&G and Mid-Carolina Electric. And it bothers me to no end that there has been so little discussion and you are so quick to approve yet another hike in the fees and taxes that are hitting the residents directly. Now, again, we have, I think, ample evidence of how many man hours are going into this effort to increase property values, and all the while you're driving people off. People don't want to move to Irmo when you've got astronomical fees that are just creeping higher and higher. You've got fines that are oppressive, and you've got a town council that is passing ordinances that are butting their noses into where they don't belong. You want to increase property values, stop driving people to sell their houses. That's common sense, and it's common economic principles of supply and demand. Now, if you want to really get down to the brass tacks here, if you want people to move into Irmo instead of moving out, lower taxes and franchise fees, and get out of people's private property. People will move here for the freedom of being here and enjoying their privacy and their private property in peace. That's all.